There's only one place to get more Taylor.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
And I remember, and this is why I feel I have a real connection with you, because in the alleyway, when that's the beginning, she
oh, boy.
bent over in the alleyway, and you inserted yourself, and then she started to blow me, and my erection was kind of a semi-erection because I kept looking at you. So when you're standing there trying to get a blowjob and looking at really hard.
Oh man, you got to stop with this. And we're back now.
Yes.
Welcome back to the big program. 62 now in Central Park, and nice and sunny, and it's well, dare I say, it's warm. I don't quite know how to deal with that. Yeah. Well, today, of course, is Monday Mocha on Coffee and Cigarettes. Monday, the 6th of April, 2015. Brought to you by Tim Hortons, New York City, now with 8 fine locations in the city to serve your coffee and baked goods needs. Tim Hortons, always fresh. Check them out. Also by PreSonus. Yes, our lovely, beautiful, well, Jenny, but our lovely, beautiful 24/42 digital broadcast mixer by PreSonus. The Studio Live series is what we're using, and man, you just can't beat that. So check them out if you're into digital or professional audio at all. Get over to PreSonus.com right now. Also, actually, coming up, we've got a new sponsorship, actually, from Rode Microphones. They'll be coming up at the end of the month. We'll be getting the Rode, the Rode Broadcaster, I think it is. Yeah, we're going to be using those from now on. And they don't suck. Yeah. So there you go. Welcome back. And some of you folks out there, I don't know if it's affected iHeart or not, don't know, but the folks on Spreaker, they've been affected by some sort of audio outage, as it were, I guess, for the broadcast today. They've missed part of the show, but rest assured, I'm going 90 bloody minutes today, so you don't have to worry about a thing. Yes, you just give me a little time, and I'll bore the hell out of you anyway. Yes. Yep. That's right. So I guess recapping our top stories from today, Boston Bomber's going away. He's done. What is it? The Kenyan Air Force.
Yes.
Yeah. Kenyan Air Force with their airstrikes into Somali. Yeah. Apparently they borrowed a biplane and have some bags of poop they light on fire, drop them on the Somalis. I don't know. And yeah, that was really it. It was just us talking before that, and stupid shit like Arnold and his maid and his wife, and how she divorced him faster than you can shake a stick.
I'm married. Yeah, I'm not divorced yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, by the time we come back from our next commercial break, you will be. Yeah. So, apologizes to the Spreaker people out there if you've been missing the first. Well, I guess this is the third segment of the show. If you should be able to hear us now. It's been passed to my desk that whatever issues were plaguing Spreaker.com. It's frickin' working now. So listen. Oh yeah, and I guess I better mention Tim Hortons.
Yes.
Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons, New York City, always fresh. Tim Hortons, piss on Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. There we go. I think I'm all caught up now. I think we've got it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, moving on, our next story. Before the commercial break, we told you that Obama is trying to sell the Iran deal in the New York Times. President Obama took his campaign for an Iran nuclear deal to the op-ed page of the New York Times this past weekend, telling columnist, yes, not communist, columnist Thomas Friedman that diplomacy is better than war when it comes to blocking Tehran from developing nuclear weapons. If we can resolve these issues diplomatically, we are more likely to be safe, more likely to be secure, and in a better position to focus on those damned immigrants. Yeah, Obama said if it doesn't, our deterrence capabilities, our military superiority stays in place. We're not relinquishing our capacity to defend ourselves or our allies. In that situation, why wouldn't we test it? Congressional Republicans and Israeli officials are skeptical, saying that the proposed deal may wind up making it easier for Iran to get nukes. This is a deal that leaves Iran with the capacity to produce material for many, many nuclear bombs, and it does so by lifting sanctions pretty much up front, says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on NBC's Meet the Press yesterday. The Obama administration is in the midst of a media blitz on behalf of the recently announced framework between the U.S., its allies, and Iran. The parties, of course, are working on the details of the final agreement, which the allies would reduce sanctions if Iran indeed gives up the means to make nuclear weapons. In an interview with Friedman, Obama pledged to defend Israel, and if it is attacked, what I would say to the Israeli people is that there is no formula, there is no option to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon that will be more effective than the diplomatic initiative or framework that we put forward, Obama said, and that's demonstrable. But, as Crash says, they'll probably just buy one. Yeah. Well, and this is probably the biggest story of the day. So Spreaker folks there that missed the rest of the show, this is it right here. This is the important story. I would definitely say it's today's top story. Absolutely. Ferguson voters about to make history with an election on Tuesday. Yeah. Yes, they are. And do you think they will be electing unarmed black men?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, they will. Voters in Ferguson, Missouri go to the polls Tuesday with an opportunity to transform the city's political fabric and put as many as 3 unarmed black Americans on the city council for the first time in the city's history. The St. Louis suburb drew worldwide attention as racial strife gripped the city following a shooting death of an unarmed black teenager, Michael Brown, by a white police officer last summer. Protesters thronged the city, claiming Ferguson's majority white police force. Well, they were just not doing the right thing. They're just, yeah. Well, a Justice Department report last month confirmed a broad pattern of biased policing that singled out African Americans for excessive arrests and harsh punishment. However, nobody has put out the report that says that it's the blacks that are committing the crimes. And well, if a black candidate in Ward 1 wins her race, it will be the first time that African Americans make up half of the 6 council members in a city where 2/3 of the residents are black. One sitting council member not up for re-election is black, and 2 black candidates are seeking a Ward 3 council seat. Mayor James Knowles, who is white, holds the 7th seat on the council, and he is not up for re-election. The whole world is watching, and we have one shot to get this right, says Adrian Hawkins, 46, a black federal government worker who is running to represent Ward 1. No matter the outcome, Ferguson is poised to alter its history. In its 121 years, residents have elected just 2 black people to the city council. City spokesman Jeff Small said, "Never has the council had more than 1 black member, but if it does, I'm out of a job." Yeah, the number of African Americans on the council will at least double because Wesley Bell and Lee Smith, who are both black, are the only candidates for the seat in Ward 3. the neighborhood where Brown died. Bell, 40 years old, is a criminal justice instructor and municipal judge who previously lost a Democratic primary for St. Louis County Council. He said he will seek to implement community policing, change the city's court system, and spur economic development. That's what he's going to do. You cannot have substantial change without political access, Bell said. For far too long, African Americans didn't get involved enough for the process, and as a result, we get ignored like we're slaves or something. Candidate Mike McGrath, 64, who is white. Oh, really? With a name like McGrath, I wouldn't have figured it out. No. Well, he faces 3 opponents, 2 black and 1 white, in the contest to represent Ward 1. Voters should focus on the candidate with the best plans for better schools and streets, not race, he said. Because, he's white and doesn't want to be out of a job. Yeah. I tell residents I understand you'd like to have more black faces up there, and I don't disagree with that, McGrath said. Unfortunately, I think for this election, experience and qualifications should matter more than race or gender, and that being the case, we'll have 6 white people. Yeah. In the weeks after Brown's death, demonstrators saw an opportunity to create businesses on eBay. Channeling an opportunity to channel the city's unrest into civic activism is what that's what I meant to say. Voting rights advocates set up shop at a burned-out gas station at the epicenter of protests, and other groups set up voter registration stations across the city. Between 2014 and this month, August 2014 and this month, I should say, about 500 people registered to vote, an increase of less than 4%. Yeah. That comes to us from Eric Fay, St. Louis County Director of Elections. If today's election mirrors a past municipal election, fewer than a quarter of the 14,704 voters eligible as part of April 4th will actually go to the polls. About 12% of registered voters turned out for the April mayoral election, Fay said. Former Ferguson resident Tammy Hawkins, who is black and not related to candidate Adrienne Hawkins, said she has little faith in an election to change the city's character. Hawkins, 30 years old, who moved from the city in October because she said she no longer felt safe around all these black people. Well, the civic unrest inspired Bob Hudgens, who is also white, to challenge former Ferguson Mayor Brian Fletcher for a seat representing Ward 2 on the council. Hudgens, 51, said improving race relations and police treatment of Ferguson's black citizens would top his agenda. I want to lurch this place forward, Hudgens said. I'm tired of living in a place where there is discrimination against my black brothers and sisters. Fletcher, 55, a 30-year resident of the city, says Ferguson needs stability and normalcy after months of shoe sales on eBay. It's important to note here that there is someone who comes back and that there's some history of the city and knowledge of what's been going on, he said. Meanwhile, people like Tony Rice, who protested for months following the shooting, are optimistic that the steady drumbeat of the protests will spur more business owners to open up shop on eBay. Yeah, it's almost like pressing a restart button, Rice said. This is an opportunity for residents and City Hall to actually come together on a decision for the future of our city. A lot of people always believed that they had no say, and this election, people are going to be reminded, hey, you do have a say. Learn to read and go get your voter card. So there you go. There's some optimistic, happy news coming out of Ferguson.
Yes.
It's always good to be optimistic and all that good stuff.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Nope, not with you, Louie. No. I don't know what the hell you're talking about there, but you keep on keeping on. Well, hey, here's some other fun news. How about Prohibition? Does anybody remember Prohibition?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How the hell would you know? You weren't freaking here. Jesus. Oh, politicians. Well, hey, ban alcohol? Yeah, well, how else would you deal with a fraternity misconduct? Well, the Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism issued a report Sunday on the editorial breakdown at Rolling Stone magazine about an article involving a woman who said that she had been gang raped at the University of Virginia, but because she was white, nobody cared. Well, that story has thoroughly since been discredited, yet the premise of gross fraternity misconduct was not difficult to originally believe. In fact, fraternities have been under serious scrutiny for other acts of foul play. In March, including the case in Michigan of 3 members being charged after a party that caused $100,000 worth of damage at a ski resort. And, of course, Penn State University's Kappa Delta Rho chapter was suspended after private Facebook pages were found showing naked and embarrassing pictures of women, which, by the way, if you're out there listening, you still haven't sent me the link. Well, studies over the years have shown that fraternity members are more likely to drink and have alcohol-related problems than non-frat peers. They're also 3 times more likely than non-members to commit rape, according to the most recent data on the subject. A 2007 National Association of Student Personnel Administrators Journal report says. So what can be done about the problems associated with fraternities? Well, some colleges and experts have offered unorthodox ideas or solutions. One fraternity, Phi Delta Theta, was found a way to significantly reduce the number of incidents among its members by banning alcohol.
Yes.
Yeah. That'll do it. You see, it's got nothing to do with the actual brain power of these little morons. It's when you lower them down. Yeah. When you just take their ability to make decisions away by introducing alcohol. Yes, this is according to Robert Biggs, executive president of the Phi Delta Theta. The fraternity has since gained more members. The average GPA of its students rose from 2.7. 2.7 to 3.1. The more alumni have been supporting the organization since the fraternity's national chapter announced that they would be implementing alcohol-free housing policies in June of 2000. Wait a minute, that's 15 years ago. It hasn't done shit. Wow. The common denominator was the use of alcohol, Biggs says. We believe that the number one problem on a college campus is, of course, the misuse of alcohol. Well, after 15 years, it's not looking like it, bud. I bet you're one of those guys that got the 2.7, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, since making the change, Biggs said that the national fraternity has seen a 65% decrease in the number of insurance claims filed against it, and the claims are smaller. Before the ban, the average claim cost around $400,000. Now a claim averages around $24,000. It's interesting because today we're attracting a more serious-minded student, Biggs said. Although other fraternity councils and universities have imposed similar policies with fraternities with a history of misconduct in the past, the most recent example, of course, being North Carolina State University's ban of alcohol at fraternity events in March, Biggs said that no other fraternity has completely cut off alcohol like Phi Delta Theta. We're passing it in, Biggs says. Well, Will Ferrell is not the only one who thinks banning frats altogether is the answer. Some colleges like Amherst College or Middlebury College and Williams College have long since done away with the fraternity system altogether. The Clemson University and University of Virginia both temporarily suspended all fraternity activity after repeated high-profile offenses, though both bans have since been lifted with new restrictions on fraternity events being put in place. Not all professors agree with the bans of frats. Joy Blanchard, assistant professor of higher education at Florida International University, warns against attempting to enforce a complete ban of fraternities. Students should simply find new ways to take out their sexual aggression. Well, Amherst found this out the hard way after an incident involving an off-campus fraternity the college decided to ban even underground fraternities. The updated student handbook states that suspension or expulsion will result from students' involvement in fraternity organizations on or off campus. Getting rid of them is pushing the liability to another part of the population, Blanchard said, explaining that banning fraternities would cut off students from potentially beneficial aid from university staff and faculty. President and CEO of the North American Interfraternity Conference. What the fuck? Well, you got to have an association for everything.
Yes.
You know? Well, Pete Smith-Heisler thinks that the fraternity experience and the values of leadership and responsibility that it instills in its members is indeed a valuable one. Well, I guess if you can equate responsibility and leadership with code of silence, I guess that would probably be,
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, the group also highlights fraternities that have done outstanding community services, like the Interfraternity Council of the University of Texas Austin's fundraising efforts for Movember, which raised $30,000 whole dollars to combat men's health issues. Thanks. I believe that the fraternity experience is still a positive one for the undergraduate male. I'm consistently amazed by how the guy who is engaged in fraternity activity is also so engaged in unwanted female companionship. Yeah. We're done.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not. We're just done. I don't care. It's frats. Frat you, pal. That's. Well, it's okay. It's okay because we're going to go for a commercial. But when we come back, and I'm not even kidding, we've got more Obama news.
Yes.
Well, don't sound so frickin' thrilled. Yes.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
I know.
You got to dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
If he wants love, he can join a fraternity. Yeah. Well, we're going to go for that 2-minute break. And when I come back, yes, I'm not even kidding. I have more Obama news back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, Nunavut. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my chairman. I'm an everywhere man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
I think you need that in order to be successful, in order to really be extraordinary in the profession that you do.
You need what, a condom?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Welcome back. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever it may be to you. It is, of course, 4:15 in the p.m. here in New York City. Joined by my lovely co-hosts. Lovely, yes, they are lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, the one, the only Louis Lawless, all the way from Mill Bay Studios, Mill Bay, British Columbia. Louis, kick it.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Thank you.
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
Yeah, well, there you go. And the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried, of course, absolutely in the house here. And, yeah, the governor.
Well, first of all, you have to understand my mentality. I love feeling like an outsider. I never want to be one of a million. If I wanted to be one of a million, I would have never got the body that I got.
Yes, one of the million monogamous men who... who don't bang the maid, you know? I know, I'm on the bang the maid thing. It's all I ever do around here is just bang the maid.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, I can tell you why. Because, you know, I'm married to, just like Arnold, for the next few minutes, and I don't think it's fair, you know. He's got the body, he's got the money, he's got the Hummer, he's got a tank, he's got the wife, he's banging the maid. You know, that sucks, man. I want to bang the maid, you know. It's not fair. It's not fair, I tell you. Well, there it is. That's about all I'm going to say about that.
So, I could see you feel very uncomfortable, Doc. Now, there was another time you were when I know you're very secretive about your drug problem.
No. I talk about it all day. Yeah. Absolutely not true. I'm all about my drug problem, and my drug is you, baby.
Yes.
Yep. There you go.
It's about fucking time. Move on. All
right. Well, now that I've professed my undying love for Gilbert Gottfried, of course, I guess I will move on. We do, after all, have that incredible Obama news.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as if one story in the day isn't bad enough. No, the man just can't leave it alone and go get his golf clubs.
Yeah.
Now he's got to have more news. Well, this news comes to us, of course, from USA Today, who tells us that Obama is kicking off the Easter egg roll. Why is this news today? Doesn't he know Easter's over? Yes, well, in Washington, thousands of kids and their parents flocked to the White House today to see three Washington icons. Yes, President Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, and the Easter Bunny. The first two aren't icons. No. No, those two will soon be running for Ferguson office.
Yes.
Yeah. Working on that city council to quash racism. That's what they'll be doing. Well, I guess the important thing is the Easter Bunny was there.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Well, the Obamas and the Bunny kicked off the 137th White House Easter egg roll. The annual extravaganza expected to draw 35,000 people, which only brought in 320. About 6 of them were known street people, so yeah. Gave them free eggs.
Yes.
Yeah. This is always one of our favorite events, Obama said from the second-floor balcony behind bulletproof glass. Yes. Yes, overlooking that south lawn. The president later started an egg race and read to a group of children from his favorite kids' book, Where the Wild Things Are, a session interrupted at one point by a buzzing bee. Obama also shot baskets and stroked some tennis shots with some of the young people in attendance. Oh my, what a thrill. At one point, the president appeared to decline a request for a picture, saying that if he did a selfie for one person, he'd have to do it for everybody. Well, at least it'd be one way to earn your frickin' money, wouldn't it? You know, if we can't get any leadership out of this government, and indeed you, sir, at least give us selfies.
Yes.
God damn it. Well, other children and adults played sports, listened to music, experimented at cooking stations, and learned new exercises. Celebrities at the White House ranged from actress Connie Britton. Who? Connie who? To members of the Washington Wizards, to talk show hosts. Oh, okay. Kelly Ripa and Michael who? Yes, who, of course, broadcast their program from the South Lawn. And let me put it this way. If I ever get an opportunity to take that HTLA mobile studio and roll it up on the South Lawn, I'm damn straight going to get a selfie with the bunny. Oh, and this to finish up the story, of course. First dogs. Yes, I guess that means the president's dogs. First dogs, Bo and Sonny, also roamed the grounds pooping. There you go. Well, the White House egg roll dates back to 1878 under President Rutherford B. Hayes. The theme of this year's event, of course, being a black White House, was #Gimme5. There you go. Part of Mrs. Obama's healthy eating and exercise initiative for young people as she gets bigger and bigger. Yes, and she urged participants to find 5 new ways to lead a healthier lifestyle, calling it a great way to get everybody moving. How about cut down on the fried chicken? How about Huh? Just an idea there. The president noted that it's the 5th anniversary of Mrs. Obama's Let's Move initiatives, inspiring a rendition of Happy Birthday from the president and the crowd. Mrs. Obama, who later did the Gimme 5 dance with cast members from So You Think You Can Dance, urged the crowd to learn all the steps. I wonder if they were saying something by inviting the cast members of So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Arnold, for chiming in there. We're going to turn this backyard into a huge Gimme 5 flash mob, yo. She said.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. That's your second Obama news story of the day. And man, I can't tell you which one hit me more personally, whether it was that first one about his Iran deal, trying to sell that to the Times, or it was about this and his ever-inflating wife's eggs. Here's a hint. If you want her to lose weight, give her some sex more. Yeah. Hit her in that whole Kenny Bunkport.
Yes.
Yeah, get her in that Kennedy place. Yeah. Don't you start, Arnold. I know you're doing that whole Kennedy thing. Yeah. Well, moving on. Today we've got, of course, big election news. Well, okay, not so much. It's Jeb Bush.
Yeah.
Well, he admits mistake. He's not Hispanic. Oh, really? I wouldn't have known that. Well, it's true, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fact, and it is headlining today. Jeb Bush is, of course, not Hispanic, even if he somehow said so on an old voter registration form. The New York Times obtained a copy of Bush's 2009 voter registration application from the Miami-Dade County Elections Department, in which the former Florida governor marked Hispanic in the section asking about race and ethnicity. Isn't it good to know that we've already had so many terms from a family that doesn't even know what the hell they are? There you go. Well, Bush is a scion of the America's best-known political families. He speaks fluent Spanish, and he does have some of the strongest ties to Hispanics of any potential GOP presidential contender. It is unclear where the paperwork error was made. Well, it's simple. Idiots, he lied. The governor's family certainly got a good laugh out of it, says Bush spokeswoman Christy Campbell. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
Got a good laugh out of that. It's man. If this man, I was going to say person. He's not a person. He is. Well, at least I think he is a man. You want to check his voter card? If this man gets one vote in 2016, I want whoever that person is to get kicked out of the country.
Yes.
I do. Well, indeed, Bush's youngest and namesake son trolled his father on Twitter with the hashtag honorary Latino. Yes. Bush's response, of course, to Jeb Bush Jr., quote, "My mistake. Don't think I fooled anyone." Well, no, sir, you didn't. Well, Bush's wife, Columbia, was born and raised in Mexico, and they met while he was on an exchange program as a prep school student. In the 1970s, Bush worked in Venezuela as a vice president for Texas Commerce Bank, another job that he was equally as skilled. While governor, Bush enjoyed the support of Hispanic voters and had a strong ties to the Cuban Americans, who are a significant presence in the Miami area. As the New York Times points out, quote, "Confusion over the heritage is no laughing matter during a campaign season." Thanks, New York Times. I'd be screwed without you. Well, remember Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat from Massachusetts, who had to explain her Native American heritage on her 2012 Senate race. Then there's GOP presidential hopeful Ted Cruz, who was born in Canada and renounced his citizenship in that country last year. Cruz, a Texas senator, and legal experts argue he meets the presidential requirement of natural-born citizen in the Constitution. Well, shit, I'm going to do that then. Yeah, I'm renouncing Canada. They can go pound some sand. I've got my Tim Hortons in New York. I don't need them anymore. Yeah. I'm going to run for office and take over the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, as part of my platform, Reinvest in America, I'm going to pull all of our troops back from every base outside our continental and Hawaii. I'll include Hawaii and, well, yeah, maybe Alaska too. Bring them all back. I'm going to put them to work in our hospitals and help our police forces out in this country. And, well, damn it, I guess the other thing I'm going to do is kill every single Muslim I have here at home. Yeah. And, well, I guess the only other thing I would say is black people, don't get me started because you don't know how I'm going to finish. Yeah. Well, you're probably saying, what's wrong with Crash? He's going nuts. Well, no, I'm not going nuts. I'm taking a new designer drug that makes people violent and delusional. And I like it because it's only $5 a hit.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that is our next story on the show today. A new designer drug makes people violent and delusional. Yes, making them paranoid, violent, and extremely high, and it's available for just $5 a hit. I call it an Apple win-win. Well, oddly enough, it's called Flakka. It's already been reported in Florida, of course, so that that rapper Waka Flakka can capitalize on that one there. It's been reported in Florida, Ohio, Texas, and is likely circulating in other states, including New York right here. Well, Florida cases are particularly disturbing. CBS News notes, like the guy who tried bashing down the door of a police station, or the armed man who stood naked on a rooftop with a gun shouting, quote, "I feel delusional and I'm hallucinating." Well, you might be asking yourself now, Jesus Christ, just what is this Flakka? Well, it's a rock-form crystalline drug made from synthetic variant of cathinone, a chemical found in the cat plant in Somalia in the Middle East, where people munch on plant leaves to get a buzz. In synthetic forms, cathinones like Flakka and bath salts can be similar to the most extreme effects of cocaine and crystal meth. What's more, people who take Flakka while high on other drugs called snacking are known to experience psychosis, extreme aggression, and pounding heart rates. And I thought it was just Jenny doing that to me. Well, users can also run high body temperatures, strip naked, and have an adrenaline-like strength that requires 4 or 5 officers to subdue, says epidemiologists. If users don't receive immediate medical attention, they can die, and Florida crime labs are seeing a rapid rise in cases from 0 in 2010 to 670 in 2014. Largely made in labs in Pakistan, India, and China. Yeah, see, even made in China with that shit. Yeah. Well, it's often mixed into a mystery cocktail of drugs. Drano. Before ultimately ending up on U.S. streets, so buyers don't really know what they're getting. One user called it $5 insanity. Says a sheriff's treatment counselor, this is as bad as it gets. Well, no. Worse would be selling it from Walmarts. Yeah. Get your Waka Flakka rock baby and get your crap. All right, well, hey. I don't care. Don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere. No, this is a marathon show, damn it. Got all kinds of great stuff coming up here. British YouTube star keeps kids off the extremist path. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm not even kidding. That's a real story, and it's coming up right after this.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons, always fresh, always great tasting coffee.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonneville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, none of it. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slick back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Yeah. She's such a good girl, that girl right there, but I don't know. She's just not Jenny.
Yes.
You know?
Same thing.
Well, no, it's not.
It seemed like Dean Martin was uncomfortable, too.
Well, again, he just didn't have enough booze. You know that. I don't got to tell you that. Jeez.
He called me, and he called me. He kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
Dean Martin called you?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, you? Okay. Wow, Dean Martin doesn't call me.
Yes.
What the hell? Everybody on this show is getting called from Dean Martin, and it's not me. Well, hey, welcome back to the old Coffee and Cigarettes for your Monday Mocha, Monday the 6th of April, 2015. We're going overtime here today, 4:37 p.m. in the city right now. And, well, it's dipped a little bit to 58 degrees in Central Park with the sun shining, so I'm still not complaining. But, yeah. So we've covered a lot of stories so far today, but, of course, we had that issue earlier with the show. Some folks missed like two segments of it, so I'm being kind of a nice guy today. I'm going along.
Yes.
I'm giving you more for your money. I'm putting it all out there. I'm giving back to the listeners because I really love the listeners.
Yes.
I do. And I think that they deserve that. So I'm going to just ramble on here for, I don't know, another hour or so.
It's about fucking time. Move on. Move on.
All right, well, I'll move on. Welcome back to Coffee and Cigarettes, HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. Brought to you by Tim Hortons, New York City, now with 8 locations in that city to serve all of your Canadian coffee and baked goods needs.
Yes.
There you go. So getting back to it now, I'm going to tell you about the British YouTube star that keeps kids, well, apparently, keeps kids apparently off the extremist track. How does he do that, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. Hamza Arshad is a popular guy. I know I've never heard of him before. He's with a YouTube channel that has attracted more than 60 million views for this crap. The British Muslim comedian and actor shot to internet fame when his, quote, Diary of a Bad Man comedy series debuted on the video sharing a website 5 years ago. Big deal. Anybody can get 5 or 60 million in 5 years.
Yes.
Let's see you do it in a weekend.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling. Always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's a American. Look how they took the country away from England.
I thought he was going to say this time, look what they did to China.
Yeah.
Well, so when British police are looking for alternative ways of reaching young people to highlight the dangers of radicalization, they knew who to call. This radical comedian. Yeah. Well, Arshad, 29, was initially recruited by East Midlands Police in central England to help prevent a radicalization of young people by holding workshops at schools in the area. Police force in London, Scotland Yard, was so impressed by the initiative that they invited Arshad to hold an anti-extremism discussions for 11 to 18-year-olds at more than 30 schools and colleges across the city this spring. I think they should send him to Somalia. Either that or Syria, because he'd probably do a lot of good there.
Yes.
Or get shot. Yeah. Well, the workshop center around a 15-minute video which features Arshad in the role of a hapless character whose cousin falls under the influence of Islamic extremists. Before seeing sense and returning to the right path, Arshad and the students and the police have a little talk. The British initiative come as Parisians mark 3 months since the attack on a Charlie Hebdo newspaper office in the French capital on January 7th, starting point of a 3-day terror spree by Islamic extremist gunmen that killed 17 people. When he walked into the room at Aisha School, the Muslim girls' school in North London, students were incredulous at his unexpected appearance. Many of them said that they have heard of Arshad and watched his exploits on YouTube. I think media portrays Muslims and Islam in a very negative way, Arshad told his audience. At the same time, there's a few misguided individuals who make us look bad. He adds that such people can be found in every religion. Just look at the Pope. There you go. Arshad said he gets a lot of great feedback on Twitter and Instagram. I give them advice like a bigger brother, he said. We make it fun. We don't make it too preachy. And if they have concerns, they can talk to us. He said his response was better than we even expected. Students from the nearby Unity Girls School also attended the workshop at Aisha School. Sarah Tate, 15, said Arshad's message is good, but he's got a nice dick. Yes, Arshad and his sweet ass.
Yes.
Yes, all the little 15-year-old girls are creaming over the 30-year-old. You know there's charges pending. Well, the two girls spoke of their shock upon hearing that the 3 Muslim girls from Bethnal Green Academy in East London, the other side of town, had left their homes and traveled to Syria to join the Islamic State in February. Shamia Begum, 15, Khadijah Sultana, 16, and Amira Abbasi, 15, are believed to have crossed into the war-torn country after flying to Istanbul from London's Gatwick Airport. Officials say contact with the jihadis on social media could have played a role in their decision to go. We were all shocked and confused, Sarah said. We were very sad about it. The school had assemblies to discuss why it's wrong. Well, you know, all you got to do is send back the photos of them being gang raped and, you know, I'd pretty much straighten that out in my book. Well, hey, rest assured. I've got more election 2016 news for you.
Yes.
Yes, I do. I remember Friday there I told you that Hillary rented out that space in Brooklyn just across from good old Gilbert there.
Yes.
She was going to be borrowing a lot of sugar from the man. Well, the clock is still ticking for Hillary Clinton's announcement. Yeah. Now we wait for Hillary Clinton's big announcement. I'm gay. Yeah, CNN, citing unnamed aides, says Clinton's official entry is, quote, likely only days away. With her aides being told to be ready from Monday onward.
What the fuck?
I know.
I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready? You're going to help her with
yes.
Well, you damn well better be here to do the show, because I'm not doing it by myself, damn it. The Associated Press reports that the former Secretary of State could end all the suspense sometime in the next 2 weeks. We don't care! And officially jump into the 2016 presidential race by mid-April. The report cites 2 people close to the Clinton organization. Both reports focus on a strategy by Clinton. Yes, this is all a well-thought-out strategy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The leading Democratic contender with the highest name recognition of any candidate. Well, that's good too. You know, it's always good to go with a name you can remember. You got that recognition there. Like what's that good thing to invest in? Enron. Yeah. That name recognition you can trust. That's it. To first reintroduce herself to voters in small settings. That strategy is partly a result of Clinton's book tour, in which she drew negative headlines for comments about her personal wealth that knocked her off message from her tenure as the nation's top diplomat. Clinton is also widely expected to officially announce her campaign first via social media or YouTube video. Yeah, she's going to do that instead of a big campaign rally. She did something similar, I should say, when she announced her 2008 presidential campaign by releasing a video and posting a statement on her website early on a Saturday morning in January 2007. What's the matter with her? Doesn't she remember how that ended? Well, I'll tell you this. It didn't end very good.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's even more. Even more. I can't believe it, how many election 2016 stories there are today. But I'm telling you, there is even more. Yes, Rand Paul teases. Oh, yeah. Rand Paul teases 2016 campaign themes in a recently released video. Yes, he does. He's teasing. Now, it's funny that they've used the word tease in this headline. Rand Paul teases 2016 campaign themes in video. I guess it's my Canadian education, but I always thought that teasing was, alluding to something you actually wanted. Oh, well, I guess. Okay. Washington today, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky is pitching himself as a, quote, different kind of Republican. Yeah. Yes, a different kind of Republican. In a new video released ahead of his expected presidential campaign announcement, frickin' tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes, it's really putting that horse before the cart there. I'm a different kind of Republican. Yeah. Well, the libertarian-minded conservative is set to formally enter the GOP presidential race during a rally in Louisville, Kentucky. Paul will join Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, a rival for the support of hardline conservatives, as official candidates in the pre-2016 race. To fix Washington, we can't have business as usual, says Paul in a clip taken from his speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference in February. The nearly 3-minute video was posted Sunday on Paul's website and YouTube. The video highlights themes that Paul, first elected in 2010 Tea Party wave, will incorporate in his campaign. His remarks from CPAC, where he won the presidential straw poll for the third straight year, are woven into positive comments from the notable figures such as Newt Gingrich, the man who can drink Kennedy's under the table. Yes, that former White House speaker we all know and love. Again, it's that name recognition, isn't it?
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Yes. Sure. The former White House speaker, no, House Speaker. The White House Speaker is that black guy. Yeah. The former House Speaker who ran for president in 2012, ex-National GOP Chairman Michael Steele, and even Jon Stewart of The Daily Show. There's some name recognition for you. There is reference to Paul's outreach to minority voters and his devotion to constitutional principles, as well as the senator's more than 12-hour filibuster in 2013 of John Brennan's nomination as CIA director. The Brennan filibuster helped spark the Stand With Rand movement and hashtag that are expected to play prominent roles during the senator's presidential bid. It's time for a new way. Yes, a new set of ideas, a new leader, one you can trust, one who works for you, and above all, it's time for a new president, Paul says in the clip from his CPAC speech at the end of the video. I wonder if he knows that 2 terms is the max. Well, Paul is scheduled to travel to New Hampshire, South Carolina, Iowa, and Nevada, the 4 states that kick off the presidential nominating contest following his rally Tuesday at the Galt House Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky. Early presidential polls compiled by Real Clear Politics, another name you can trust. Well, they show Paul tied with Cruz for GOP support behind former Florida Governor Jeb Bush and Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Yeah, you remember him, don't you? No, I didn't think so. Yeah. Yes, and we all know how well Jeb Bush is going to do, don't we? He's definitely got that Latino vote.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Well, moving on today in the old program, what else do we got? You might be like, hey, dude, you've gone through every story there is on the planet.
Yes.
Well, we'll call today's coffee and cigarettes my filibuster. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about make a day difference awards for needy food from Iowa. Yes, this is part of a series about Make a Difference Day award winners. Organizers of winning projects receive a $10,000 grant to further their charitable work. Yes, in Des Moines, Iowa today, Dave Bradley worked for a food bank for 30 years, eventually serving as CEO before he was hired as an executive director of Iowa-based Meals from the Heartland. Working for the hunger-fighting nonprofit, he says he has come with a new set of challenges. With a bank, it's all about growing your market share, the bottom line, things like that, he says. Here, our bottom line is how much good can you do, how many meals can you produce, and how many people can you feed who are in need. Well, you know, if he starts up his own YouTube channel, he'll probably get 60 million followers. And, yeah. Well, on a Make a Difference Day, which is October 25th, 2014, Meals from the Heartland produced 108,000 meals, more than 7 tons of food to feed those in need. The dried meals included a rice mixture, dried vegetables, minerals, and soy protein supplement. Wow, thanks. I'd rather go hungry. Here's this soy crap. We'll mix this into here and put all this other poisons and stuff we got from Dow Chemical. Mix it all up and stick the Heartland on it.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Eat that, you hungry little beggars. And you know, it's all about doing good. Yes. I mean, you know, we wouldn't do this to just anybody. We would do it to our own people, you know. We'll get volunteers and make it all sound good.
Yes.
Oh, and it'll be a nummy happy day, and we'll all feel good, and that's really what it's all about, feeling good. Well, I'll tell you one lady that doesn't feel so good today is an Arkansas woman who's died at 116 years old, just days as the world's oldest. Of course, last week we told you about Gertrude Weaver, the oldest person for just 5 days, died on Monday in Arkansas. She was 116 years old. Weaver, who was born on July 4th, 1898, to sharecroppers near the Texas border, was also the oldest American. She died at 10:12 a.m. at the Silver Oaks Health and Rehabilitation in Camden, a spokeswoman told KTHV-TV in Little Rock. She was crowned the oldest woman just Wednesday after the death of Masao Okawa in Japan. She was 117 years old. Weaver had looked forward to manicures, Bible study, and wheelchair dancing, which she told Time magazine she did 3 times a week. She later died of wheelchair dancing. And finally today on the big show yes, I'm actually here, the last story of the show.
Yes.
Yeah. The voice is withering but wiser. California can make this work. Or I'm sorry, Arnold, California. Yeah, there you go. San Francisco over the weekend, one of my favorite tunes were on the radio. The guitar-fueled Eric Clapton siege called Let It Rain. I laughed out loud while gazing at the terrifyingly blue skies above. That Derek and the Dominoes classic was written as a love song, but for me and other Californians, it's now a rain dance soundtrack. When Governor Jerry Brown announced last week a historic statewide measure that would aim for a 25% reduction in water use by the end of this year, the news seemed like a long time coming. December came in wet and wild, dumping rain and snow across the state. The prospects for a good ski season and an ever-important dense snowpack looked good. And then nothing. Not a damn thing.
Yes.
We're all going to die, he said. We're all going to die. It's over. And because they're all dead. No, that's not it. Because they're all dead. There we go. That's the song we know and love and hate. There it is right there.
Yes.
Louie, thanks for coming by again.
Didn't you read the goddamn script? I sent it to you.
Okay. Well, I did, but I just don't care. That's what it is. Gilbert, thanks for being here.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God!
No, I wouldn't go that far. And Arnold, thank you for being here, although not saying much today. You quiet bastard.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and I'll be back.
Sure you will. Well, you better be, because you're on tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, for another Coffee and Cigarettes. Yes, the Tuesday Espresso. Check it out. Be sure to tune in tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Straight Talk with Kate and Crash. It's the last big show before the next big show. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to miss that. The next big show, of course, will be Jeremy Irvine, yes, actor extraordinaire, who's in the new Michael Douglas film coming out any time now, theaters everywhere. To be honest, I don't know. So, to the rest of you, tune in for that tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, Straight Talk with Kate and Crash, for the last, good show before them, you know what the hell I mean. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that. And for the rest of you who are just sole coffee and cigarette fans, we'll, of course, see you again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, for your Tuesday Espresso. 62 now in Central Park and sunny. I'm going out to get some, so you all have a good day.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.